Okay, guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I will be giving my reaction to 105-year-old man's wisdom on his diet. Okay, so let's watch this video and then I can give my comments afterwards.
Before they left, every single one of them asked me the same question. What's your secret, Walter? And I always said the same thing. Clean food. And I believed it. But here's what I noticed. The ones who ate perfectly, exercised for hours every day, followed every rule, they left just as fast as the ones who didn't. So what was the real difference? I've had a lot of time to sit with that question, and the answer had nothing to do with what was on my plate. Diet was never the secret to a long life. When I was your age, I thought eating right would fix everything. After losing everyone I loved, I started noticing things. My name is Walter. I'm 105 years old. I drove a taxi for 41 years. I still wake up every morning at 6 and make my own coffee. I still sit in the same chair I've been sitting in for 47 years. The chair across from me has been empty for 11 years. I stopped moving it. People come here, reporters, doctors, neighbors. They all want the same thing, the list. What do you eat, Walter? How many hours do you sleep? Do you take vitamins? I give them the list. They write it down. They leave happy. I'll give you the list too. But if I stop there, you'll leave just like they did, happy, having missed the whole thing, because every single one of them missed the point. Nobody ever sat down and asked, Walter, what kept you going after everyone was gone? Walter, how do you wake up after 105 years and still decide it matters? Those were the questions I always waited for, but nobody ever asked them. They wanted my food list, my sleep schedule. If sleep alone extended life, half the people I knew would have lived forever. Maybe you're wondering about the list too. Well, the list. 2 eggs every morning, fried in butter. Real meat twice a week. Vegetables from the ground. Bread, water, black coffee. No powders, no vitamins, and yes, I'll admit it, sometimes a piece of chocolate after dinner. A small whiskey on cold nights. You know, I never starved myself. I never punished myself for eating something I enjoyed. The people who made food into a religion, who counted every calorie, who felt guilty every time they sat down at a table, most of them were miserable. And miserable people, in my experience, don't live long.
Okay, my take on Walter is several things. First of all, Walter seems like a relaxed type guy. He's calm. He doesn't, look like he has a lot of stress in his life. And I don't think he's living a luxury life. I mean, he's not hurting. He's not well to do. I mean, just looking at his background in some of the pictures, but I don't think there's a lot of anxiety and stress in his life. He wasn't, he said he used the same chair for 40 years. He said, I mean, that there wasn't a lot of pressure around him to succeed or chase after all these things. He was happy being a taxi driver. He's married and he lost his wife, our companion 11 years ago. So that's one factor. The next factor is he's not living in order in today's realm, right? He's not eating chips and Doritos and stopping at the gas station, and he's not eating, pastries and pizza out 3 nights a week. He's not ordering DoorDash. He's not, all these things that make America fat. You know what I mean? The pastas, all the seed oils, and the damage it does to your system, and the amount of calories consumed. All these things. He's not overweight. He's not, he's just old. I mean, he's been around 105 years. So there's a lot to digest, so to speak, pun intended, kind of. But he's living just basically calm. I mean, there's no ups and downs. It's medium. And I'd like to see what his ancestry is. I mean, how long did his parents live, or brothers, sisters, aunts, and uncles, and his great grandfather and great great grandfather? How long did they live? That has a lot to do with it. I know in my case, my uncle, he drove 150 miles once a year to go to a family reunion. He was 105. He's still driving a car. So, just like my parents, 93, 94, when they passed away, all my aunts and uncles, they were in their 90s, several in their hundreds. That's just crazy to me that has a lot to do with your genetics, right? I mean, it's sad to say that some people run into these issues. I met a guy, 22, and he had liver problems, right? And then he had kidney problems. His kidney was replaced, and that failed. And he had another kidney replaced. And now he's waiting in line to get a kidney, and he has dialysis. I mean, it seems like you just run into these issues constantly, some people. And other people, they just guide right through. And some people seem to have a stress-free life. Nothing bothers them. They're calm and collected. And other people, they're just strung out all the time, And yeah, the upbringing and certain factors in their development, all these other things play in. But in Walter's case, he looks calm. And, he mentioned that, all these people, died. They fanatics about the way they ate. They all died like the same as everybody else. But I argue with my brother this all the time. He said, he's not worried about all these things. He's not worried about diet and everything. And what, he just does whatever. And but he runs. He watches. He's not one of these guys that are total consumed. He drives a 20-year-old vehicle. He lives in a big house by himself. He's not consumed with things around him. But the issue with him is it's not the quality, right? I mean, it's not the quantity, it's the quality. So I look at it, it's not how long you live, it's the quality that you have during that time. So, he argues, I don't care about, what I eat or whatever. But, your lifespan isn't determined, right? It's not determined. Only one person knows how long you're going to live. But it's that quality you have during that time. And I have to disagree with Walter, because people are going to outlive someone else on a bad diet or smoking or drinking or whatever. I remember George Byrne on Johnny Carson. He had a cigar and had, a glass of alcohol. That's what he did. I don't know if you guys know who George Burns is, but he was a comedian. He was he did a lot of acting and things back in years ago, and he was 95 doing this and still could hold down a conversation and do these things at his age, drinking and smoking cigars. I mean, and I remember Ewell Gibbons. I don't know if you guys know who he was, but he was this advocate back in the 70s, 60s. He was, eating tree nuts and all these other things, he was fanatical about dieting and all these other things. And he died at a young age. I don't know if he was 50, 60 years old, somewhere in there. But yeah, that pendulum swings all over the place. It doesn't matter who you are or what you eat or some people are usually, extremely tall people or extremely overweight people don't make it that long, obviously. Um, tall people have have long way to go as far as heartbeats and all the, blood flows and organs, how, as you get older, all that starts, you can't force all that stuff in a long area in the body. And obviously overweight people, they struggle with that fat and it presses on all their organs and does crazy stuff to their system. So you could see why these people don't last that long. But as far as the fanatic, I don't see, I mean, some people, I don't know. I mean, if you watch all the so-called gurus online, some say eat vegetables, some say don't touch a vegetable, some say only eat meat. Other people said don't touch meat. I mean, it's just like, I remember seeing this video, this guy, took clips of all these people, these gurus, and he had all the food on the table in a trash can next to him. And, one guy says, don't eat fruit. So he threw that out. Another guy said, don't eat meats, don't eat pasta. And all of his food kept going in the trash can. And there was nothing left to eat because everybody said that it's going to make you sick or it's going to do damage, inflammation, or all these other things. So, yeah, there's so many things in play with Walter. I mean, obviously his attitude is good. He's got a good attitude, So, the stress factor, how much he sleeps, and all these other things have a lot to play into it, and genetics, obviously. But there's so many. I mean, he said, "Oh, I don't. This is my diet, and I don't go crazy." But he's not eating. He's eating eggs and has time to chocolate, maybe a drink here and there. But he's not busting out eating all this garbage like most people nowadays do. But well, I hope you guys found value in that. Something that you can just mull over and think about. But you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye now.